In the book, what kind of animal cuts down the trees for moose? Tell someone at home. So in the moose book, it shows a nice picture of some logs that he has cut down. He actually cut his down with the beaver. Well, we don't use the beaver. I'm going to show you what we use around here to cut down trees. And then my daughter Haley's going to give you a small demonstration of how to cut down a small tree. Then after that, I'm going to show you the kinds of things that you can make out of trees. So here we go.
All you do is hold it on that angle. Put a pair of gloves on. So when you slip, you don't cut yourself. You ain't got very many teeth on the left side.
In my family, this is what we use to cut down trees. Here's a quick video of my daughter and her first lesson learning how to use a chainsaw.
Timber. She's done it.
So after you cut a tree down, you hook onto it with a chain or a binder and take it to be milled. Before you mill a tree, you cut the butt end nice and straight. So here's a pile of logs waiting to be milled in the spring when the snow is gone. See how big it is compared to my hand. We use big logs to cut lumber out of. So all the round edges get cut off, and that would be used for slab wood. Slab wood is just a rounded edge covered with bark that you might throw into your fireplace in the wintertime to keep your house warm. The middle section would be cut into boards, framing lumber, 2x4s, beams, and other things. As you can see from the cabin in the background of this picture, they are using the wood that they cut down for different things. Timbers, framework, boards, logs, and other things you can make from wood. Let's take a look outside at my house and see what we can make out of wood. And how is wood made into all these different things? So this is called a peavey or cant dog. It's used to roll the logs onto the mill. And this is the big saw. Earmuffs to protect our hearing. This is the grease gun. That grease gun would be for maintaining the mill. The mill has little fittings all over it that do need to be greased up every spot where there's moving parts. Let's go see if we can find a grease fitting. This would be a moving part. Right here where it moves and twists, there's a grease fitting. Right here. It's covered in grease. So here's the control panel for the wood miser. There's also this control panel with levers to use, and they show you in picture diagrams what each lever is for. Here are some logs ready to be rolled onto the mill to be cut. So here you can see my father's running the levers and controls. That section that's moving forward has a rotating bandsaw that's spinning. And this little black part with the little black and yellow stripes on it that just pushed over is called the debarker. And the job of the debarker is to make a trail for the saw blade as it goes into the wood, so the blade won't get as dull because it has a nice clean cut right in front of it down to the wood. The blade won't cut through any dirt or other things that might dull it. So I wanted to get close up to where the blade was cutting so you could see The bandsaw blade is spinning really fast and sliding through the wood from one side to the other. This is called the Lumberyard. There will be lots of piles of various different kinds of lumber cut into different sizes based on what you'll be using it for. So this is a pile of lumber, and these are the stick ends. Small little extra pieces of wood that give a nice space between the layers so that air can come through. See, I can even look out to the other side. So I know some good air is going in there, keeping this lumber dry so it doesn't get rotten. Here's one of the pictures from the cabin that Moose built story. They are using boards. What are they making with boards? These are the floorboards that groan and creak. This wood was cut into boards. Boards are used as coverings for the walls. Pretty much the whole outside and the whole inside could be covered with boards. These would not be used as framing material. They are not strong enough. Here is another great idea of what you can do with boards. Here is a lovely bookshelf for the pre-K classroom. Underneath all of this snow, you can see some of the things that you can make from wood. Carrier beams. A beam is a really big rectangle of wood, and it's used for the framing of the house. These are some smaller beams. Framing lumber would be perfect for building a shed. So here's my father using the lathe and helping me make a toy for the pre-K classroom. Just another idea of how you can use wood.